What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in today. We have a fun one. We are going to be cracking open 2024 Panini Phoenix. If you haven't opened these, I would encourage you to do so. It's just fun. I mean, honestly, the card designs are pretty dang cool, if I will say so myself. In it, as you see here, you have the opportunity to find some exclusive parallels, ultra rare cards. We're also going to be talking about fantasy football and football in general. If you haven't watched our other videos, please go ahead and do so. And some of you guys might be wondering, why is it coming out on Thursday instead of earlier in the week when people talk about fantasy pickups? Well, it's a good question. Part of that is because I believe that during the week, we find more in regards to players being more valuable due to injuries. And I also like waiting to see when the waivers run, because a lot of the people that are atop the waiver wire, ESPN does this, Yahoo does it. Basically, if an injury happens, whatever, then they are priority ads almost by default. They kind of go up the leaderboard in terms of who are the most sought after players, especially when you filter to wide receiver, tight end, quarterback, running back, whatever it is. The position, those are usually top of the list there in terms of seekability. That being said, some names are elusive to that, right? They might not be the week's top pick, but they are going to be picks that in some cases are potentially going to be more valuable later in the year, such as players like Woody Marks, Torrey Horton for the Seahawks. So anyway, that's why we do this. That's why we wait. We want to talk about maybe some of those players that are still kind of getting inundated to the offense, seeing some sparks of life. So that's kind of why I wait till a little bit later. That way, when you guys watch, you can see who is still available, right, from fantasy football. But anyway, we're going to crack this open. Let's do this thing. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're growing. The support is appreciated, and we love doing these videos. It's fun talking football. I want to do this throughout the rest of the year. If we can do more, that would be awesome. But part of it is finding what we can in the retail stores. This, by the way, $30 USD for us. So if you go to a local retailer, that's probably what you are going to find them at. But again, when you see the art or the design anyway, I think you'll find it worth it. I mean, I haven't opened many of these. Maybe, I don't know, maybe two, if that. Maybe this is our third or the second. But as you can see, 6 packs, I believe 4 cards per pack. So all up, we have the opportunity for 24 cards. So let's get into our very first one. In tonight's matchup, we have, I'm gonna move these hats a little bit. Unfortunately, Nick Bosa, if you guys didn't know and you're a 49ers fan or not a 49ers fan, but you want to, play an offense going up against 49ers defense, Nick Bosa out for the year, ACL injury. It was devastating. But tonight's match, we got the Cardinals and the Seahawks. Seahawks defense hasn't been terrible from a fantasy perspective or just football in general. Granted, they went up against the 49ers, I believe, just the other week, and 49ers just squeaked out a win. That was not a great showing on 49ers offense, but kudos to Mac Jones for leading that drive at the end, because had it not been for that, we wouldn't have gotten the field goal and we wouldn't have won the game. So hopes are still alive. Well, I can already tell you we got one of my favorite players, Jahmyr Gibbs. Had a monster game. If you guys didn't watch the Lions versus the Ravens this last week, I believe it was the Monday night game. What a game that was. They are something special. And just in general, Jahmyr Gibbs is one of my favorite players, just regardless. We got Justin Simmons here, Quay Walker, and let's see, Marshawn Lloyd. Now, he has been, so we got the rookie card, which is dope. You can see that right there in the corner. He's been plagued with injury. I hope he gets on the field and can stay on the field, because Josh Jacobs, despite being a great running back, they got a great run schedule coming up, and maybe this guy can add some value and also give Josh Jacobs a little bit of a break. But Green Bay, what a scary team to face. Their defense is awesome. Their offense is running on full cylinders, so that's pretty cool. But tonight's game, I'm really looking at Torrey Horton on the Seahawks. I'm curious to know what his involvement is, or if it will be another defensive blowout. Seahawks absolutely annihilated. I believe they went up against the Saints. it was a joke of a game. Seahawks were just manhandling them. But that being said, I got the Seahawks over the Cardinals tonight. Cardinals, I don't know what's going on with Marvin Harrison Jr. I have Marvin Harrison Jr. on my bench, and I can't put him in my starting lineup. Like, I mean, the drop passes he had in that game, if you guys didn't watch, it was pretty bad. It was just bad, and we're talking drops of, like, he was wide open, you know, and I'm sure people have already talked about that. But if you watch the game, like, and you saw that, that's not what you want to see. So anyway, I got the Seahawks tonight. Main guy I'm looking at, like I said, Torrey Horton. I'm just hoping the Cardinals offense can kind of show up. If you guys didn't pick up Trey Benson or he's available, pick him up. He's basically James Conner running back replacement. James Conner went out, season-ending injury. Same with Najee Harris. But again, most people already have those handcuff running backs to both of them, James Conner and Omarion Hampton. So they're probably already taken. If you can find them, awesome, right? But I still think they're Kyle Monanganai and Woody Marks. I think they are names that people should still be aware of. I've been tooting Woody Marks' horn for a while here just because I think he's talented. The O-line for the Texans is garbage, and they need creativity. They need bursts of speed. Woody Marks gives them that pass-catching threat. So I love Woody Marks. I picked him up early, even before he's starting to get more and more incorporated, just because I believe in the talent. But anyway, we got DJ Moore. Chicago had a decent game, of course. They did go against a anemic defense of the Cowboys, and the offense was brutal. Luckily, I got Jake Ferguson, though. So Jake Ferguson went off 14 targets. 14 targets, I think 13 receptions, no touchdown, but just was an absolute unit. And check this out. We got a really cool TJ Watt card, but this looks a little more special here. We got a Bo Nix rookie card. It is not a numbered card, but it definitely looks like a cool exclusive or parallel. So I'm actually going to put that one off to the side. He is, by the way, not having the greatest fantasy year, not as bad as it could be, but I'd like to see more rushing from him. He's had a couple games where he really could have had quite a bit more points, but just missed receivers. So, but this is a really cool card. Again, if you look at the design on it, you don't see it in many other cards out there. So kind of cool. Again, and we got here Rackstraw Jr. We got another Lions rookie. So I'm going to put this guy off to the side, but pretty happy with that. Sorry for the cough there. But anyway, other notable matches, you know, you got the Vikings versus Steelers. I'm not excited about that game. I just don't want anyone on those teams other than, like, obviously Justin Jefferson's probably going to have himself a fine showing. But yeah, and Jordan Mason, I think he's going to be great. But the Steelers, I'm just scared. I would not start any of the Steelers. I'm just nervous on that front, except maybe Jaylen Warren again. But not feeling the strongest there. And honestly, probably the most frustrating situation. I'm just going to go ahead and vent here for a moment. The Falcons are mind-boggling to me. You know, they're going up against the Commanders. But the thing about the Falcons that is so mind-boggling is the passing has been so bad. And Drake London's performance just begs questions. Darnell Mooney, 11 targets compared to Drake London's. I think he had like, 6 or 7. He basically had a fraction of what Mooney had. Now, Mooney was clearly an open target. He had a lot of good looks and made use of it. So I can't be mad. I love Darnell Mooney. I had him last year. He helped me get a championship. So I'm not mad at it. But I did pick up Drake London thinking that he was going to show up, show out. And it's just really not been there. And I don't quite understand, like, what is going on. But it's frustrating because, like, I had to pick up, or I wanted to pick up Huge, you know, Johnson from the Chargers, Quentin Johnson, just because even though he's got drops, at least he's more involved in the offense, and they got a competent quarterback. They got a great offense, defense. So I feel better starting him than I do Drake London, despite the targets, because over the last few weeks, like, London's really not done anything, even with the targets. Like, it's just not giving me a lot of confidence. So that's my little mini rant there. Other notable games, Bills going up against the Saints. Bills are going to go absolutely off. That's going to be a great game. The one I'm excited for is the Browns and Lions game, not just because I do love me some Detroit Lions. Speaking of, Amon-Ra St. Brown, the Sun God, what a great year he is having, so that's fantastic. Let's see who we got here. We got this Christian Kirk. Like, look at this one. It's just really cool. He's actually back from injury. So he's been a popular pickup, believe it or not, and honestly, that is a sick card. Then we got Spencer Rattler here, rookie card. Spencer Rattler, by the way, not having the worst year. I know that sounds crazy because the Saints are 0-3, but he's not been that awful. So something to be on the lookout for. But the reason I'm curious about the Browns and the Lions is not only do I want the Lions to win, but I got Harold Fannin Jr., the tight end for Cleveland. He's on my bench. I was fortunate enough to pick up Jake Ferguson, so I'm going to sit Fannin. But I just want to see what he does. Like, he's an elite talent. I'm curious to know if he has a great game this week. Like, maybe I can use and trade him to get someone that can complement my team better. Because I have Chase Brown. And for those who also have Chase Brown, I'm so sorry that you and I are going through this awful, awful season with him and the worst O-line. I can't even... If you guys didn't know, like, look up the yards before line of scrimmage contact that these guys have. Like, it's mind-boggling how bad the O-line is, but Brown is getting, like, no love. It's just so bad. And I was hoping that Jake Browning would do more checkdowns, and he did get more targets week 3. I'm praying that things get a little better for them because I don't want to drop Brown. But at the same time, with the poor performance, I don't even know if he's a good trade candidate at this point. Because unless you live under a rock, you probably are seeing how poor he's doing. So anyway, that's the other little mini rant. But outside of that, I'm excited for Woody Marks. If you guys don't have him, I would encourage it. Same with Tajay Spears. He's coming back from IR soon. I think he got cleared for the following week. I think it's October 5th or 6th. So that's going to be kind of neat there. Got Chris Olave, it's the Saints, they're figuring it out. But we got Saquon Barkley, never going to be upset for a Saquon Barkley card. Not a rookie card, just stock card, but Saquon is great, so happy to have him. We got another rookie card with Jordan here, Houston Texans, so that's pretty cool. Again, nothing yet to really shout out about outside of that Bo Nix rookie. I think that one's kind of the main meat and potatoes. But other things just to be aware of, if you guys weren't aware already, Tyrone Tracy with the Giants has a shoulder injury. I watched that happen, by the way, because I picked up Cam Scadaboo literally 2 hours before the game, and I am never happier that I am so happy I picked him up. But if you can, I think he's a talent, and I think the biggest news is Jackson Dart starting. I'm so excited to see Jackson Dart. His preseason, if you guys didn't know, I mean, and again, it's preseason, take it with a grain of salt. But his preseason was silly good. I mean, it was awesome. The guy is just on another level. So I'm really excited to see what he does. The rapport he builds with Malik Neighbors, Cam Scadaboo, you got Wan'Dale Robinson. So a lot of good talent on the Giants. If they can stay healthy, I'm excited. Now, they are going up against the Chargers defense that is electric. That team is scary good, but it's a rookie scenario, so mistakes are going to happen. Probably why the Chargers defense is a good play, but I think people will be surprised at his scramble ability, again, Jackson Dart, and his accuracy. I'm predicting he's going to have a great fantasy year. I don't care. I picked him up. Long story short, I picked him up. I'm taking a chance on him. I dropped Trevor Lawrence because the Jags are awful. I cannot understand why it's as bad as it is in terms of the drops, in terms of the inaccuracies. They have so much talent on the team. It's mind-boggling. So anyway, going back to the cards, we got Joe Mixon here. We got DeAndre Hopkins, Xavier McKinney, Anthony Gould with the Colts. The Colts are electric as well. I dropped another person to get Daniel Jones because, again, it just, at this point, I feel like if you see some of these players that are starting to ball out and those the offensive line is as good as it is, or offensive line is as good as it is, you gotta scoop. It's been several weeks now. We can kind of start seeing the trends. We can kind of start seeing things go. Again, like the Blake Corum involvement, right? Blake Corum wasn't really involved. Now he's getting more involved, and even on the limited touches he has, he is low-key kind of getting into that flex territory. It's not official, but it's kind of getting there. And again, if something happens to Kyron Williams, then Blake Corum is going to be silly good to have on your team. So it's a bench stash right now, but with upside potentially for flex. So if you can get it, do it. But other than that, I'm excited for some of the other games like the Cowboys and the Packers, mainly to see the Packers show up, show out against the Cowboys. I'm also expecting a bajillion targets ever since CeeDee Lamb's injury. I watched that happen as well. That game was sad to see because CeeDee's ankle just looked totally twisted down. It just didn't look good. But he's going to be out, but people like Jake Ferguson are going to benefit. So I'm happy for Jake Ferguson. Sorry for CeeDee Lamb. Some of the other ones, the Bears against the Raiders. That's going to be exciting. I think Rome Odunze is going to have himself another great game. And Lutheran, another rookie for the Bears, he's seen increased involvement. So it's just, again, someone to keep your eyes out for. It's not saying he's going to be a thing, but DJ Moore is really not as involved as I kind of thought he was going to be, just in general. So, hey, if another wide receiver and a rookie comes out and they get to build rapport between him and Caleb, that's going to be exciting. Outside of that, Raiders, Trey Tucker obviously had a bajillion targets week 3. That's why he was the #1 pickup, basically, for most people. Even if you were set at wide receiver, you can't ignore a 3-touchdown day with that many targets, that many air yards. Was it a fluke? You never know, but obviously now he's on everyone's radar. So if you can get him, cool. And if you want to take a chance on him, cool. Geno Smith has accuracy, so I don't hate the play. And then we got the Ravens versus the Chiefs. I definitely got the Ravens beating the Chiefs in that game, even though they're tied records 1-2, which is weird. Like, one of these teams is going to be 1-3, which I don't think anyone would have seen happening, except maybe the Chiefs. The Ravens, certainly not. But anyway, it's going to be a good game. I got Ravens in that one, and then the 49ers and Jacksonville playing the 49ers at the Niners, right? So I got the 49ers beating the Jags, but honestly, I don't know. I hope Brock Purdy's back and can make an impact, but they just cannot stay healthy. And again, mini rant, I don't understand what's going on in the strength and conditioning room of the 49ers because their injury count is off the chart. It doesn't make sense. I can't think of another team. And I don't know if you guys can, but if you look at how many injuries they continue to have and have suffered through, it makes no sense. Like, there's something wrong in strength conditioning, or it's like you almost have to be brought on the team with injury history for them to take you on or something. Like, I don't know, but it's frustrating because Juwan Jennings is now injured or has been injured. Kittle's still coming back from the IR thing. Then you got Brock Purdy, who's dealing with his stuff but fighting through it. And you really only have a couple players that are, and then Nick Bosa with his ACL. So then, it's just brutal. But hey, I'll take the 3-0. It's just unbelievable. I swear, I just don't know what's going on. Like, it's just, like I said in another video, I feel like they're cursed or something because it makes no sense. But we got Khalil Mack. I like him. I think he went out for injury though, unfortunately. And then we got a Dre Greenlaw. We got this is cool. A Keon Coleman Rising rookie card. That's pretty cool. Look at this. And then we got, this is kind of lame, but we got a second Keon Coleman, just rookie card. But I like this Rookie Rising because basically Keon Coleman on the Bills looks to be someone that will have ideally a little more involvement with Josh Allen, continue to build that rapport, and just kind of be one of the go-to people for the team. So I don't hate that, to be totally honest with you. Yeah, probably going to sleeve that one. So I think all up, guys, notable cards here, just kind of going really quickly in terms of some of the players we got here. Let's see, we got this cool Christian Kirk card. We'll see his impact coming back from injury for the Jags. It might be good. Honestly, who knows? Then we got this Bo Nix rookie card, which is a really, really cool kind of, parallel exclusive, I guess. So that's cool. So, yeah, and then we got a couple other notable rookie cards. But all up, I don't know if this box will equal getting our money back in terms of the $30, but I definitely think it was a fun box. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. Let me know in terms of who you guys are looking at for fantasy, like what teams you're excited for. You know, who were some of your notable pickups going into or in this week for next? I would say just keep an eye on some of these rookie players. Again, I cannot stress enough, the rookie wide receivers are starting to make waves. Even Travion Henderson with the Patriots, he's not been great. I think he's going to get more involved. He should. And then we'll see more, right? Because there was an Ollie Gordon touchdown that happened week 3. But if you paid attention week 1, week 2, it was absolutely nothing. Ollie Gordon had nothing. So is this a turn of the tide? I don't know, but he looked good. So Ollie Gordon's another name to kind of be on the lookout for. And I know some people dropped Troy Franklin on the Broncos because he had an insane week 2, was, again, primary pickup. Week 3 was kind of ghosted, nothing. Cortland Sutton, again, #1 guy, just emerged. But Troy Franklin had himself a time, had a lot of involvement. So these second-year players, first-year player, rookies, building rapport with a team, like, again, Alec Iomanner. I love Alec Iomanner. He's going to be, if not already, the #1 target for Tennessee. They're not the greatest, right? But Tajay Spears coming back from IR, that's why I picked him up. He's not playing yet, but I think he's going to add value to the team. Pass catching ability, he is really good. And they've given him proper rest due to that high ankle sprain he suffered in the early part of the preseason. So some of these guys that your opponents might be sleeping on, just keep an eye out for him. Similar with Matt Golden, I believe, with Green Bay. Slowly and surely getting more involved. I think there's going to be more to it. So that's my big takeaway for you guys. I love picking up the rookies when I can, especially if you start seeing their involvement become greater and greater and they start being a wide receiver 3 to a wide receiver 2 or 3rd on the depth chart. In the case of Woody Marks, right? Woody Marks was 4th on the depth chart, I believe, behind Dameon Pierce, Nick Chubb. You had Joe Mixon on injury, and I can't remember the 3rd. But basically, Woody Marks has now emerged as the second timeshare with Nick Chubb and likely is going to become their first, #1. So, again, be on the lookout for these guys and the talent. Hopefully, you guys win your, week 4 matchup, week 4. I am currently sitting at a 2-1 record. Honestly, should be 3-0, but we're gonna leave that. We're gonna leave it. But 2-1 right now, so hoping to keep that streak alive, knock on wood, this week. So anyway, have a great week, guys. If you like this video, again, please like, comment, subscribe. We're trying to grow. Appreciate all the support, and we will catch you on the next one. Good luck this week.